Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe.
Ananda Das Babet. And we will read the verse 152. Vanchakalpatarupyacha kripa sindhubhyaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo. O Radhe, with the garland of freshly blooming jasmine flowers in your braid, the softly jingling sash of bells on your broad buttocks, the jingling ankle bells, and the shining armlets and bracelets on your beautiful wine-like arms, and with the golden lotus bud-like breasts, when will you quench my thirst for your audience? I repeat the verse. O Radhe, with the garland of freshly blooming jasmine flowers in your braid, the softly jingling sash of bells on your broad buttocks, the jingling ankle bells, and the shining armlets and bracelets on your beautiful wine-like arms, and with the golden lotus bud-like breasts, when will you quench my thirst for your audience? The nectarian flavor of Sri Radha's beauty. Commentary. Sri Radha is the Kunj Abhisarika, secretly going out to meet Krishna in an arbor, very eagerly running to meet her heart's beloved. The devotees should meditate on her beautiful eagerness to meet Shyam, and should take it as an example. When a living entity, by some indescribable stroke of good fortune, becomes eager to attain the mood of Radhika's maidservants, and when the divine couple sends a message to the doorstep of the heart of such a raga sadhaka, practitioner of spontaneous devotion, then the devotee's hope blossoms, and he runs quickly towards Sri Sri Radha Madhava. That is the Jiv Abhisar, the love journey of the living entity.
Radhe. So maybe we can stop here, and I think that we will read again the sentences, but the point is that we have here two abhisars, two love journeys. One love journey is when Radhika very eagerly and passionately is running to meet Krishna in the thirsting place. And Baba is giving here instruction to all of sadhakas that we should meditate on this loving journey of Srimati Radharani. And through meditation on this loving journey, all Radhika's form, qualities, and pastimes will slowly start to appear in the consciousness and in the heart of the sadhaka. And we have another abhisar, and this is Jiva Abhisar. We will stop a little bit here on this Jiva Abhisar, love journey of devotee. So we have two love journeys, Radharani's love journey to meet Krishna, and devotees' love journey to meet Radhika and her Krishna. So journey of sadhaka is actually love journey. Sometimes can be obstacles. Sometimes sadhaka can go in much more easier way. Depends on many things. But ultimately, this is a love journey, which the goal of that journey is to bring the soul to the root of his existence, to bring the soul in the natural position by the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So this is a loving journey. Devotional practice is a loving journey. And I will ask my Yoga Shakti to read this sentence, because this is a long sentence and we will need the help of Gurudev also, and Jayanandaji. A sentence which is starting, when a living entity by some, yes, please.
When a living entity by some indescribable stroke of good fortune becomes eager to attain the mood of Radhika's maidservants, and when the divine...
No, please stop and repeat it again.
When a living entity by some indescribable stroke of good fortune...
Okay, we will go like this because this is very long sentence, and in this sentence, all this loving journey of the living entity is very, very nicely, from the beginning to the end, is very nicely explained. So Baba is saying, when living entity by some indescribable stroke of good fortune, this kind of good fortune is not ordinary good fortune because of good karma. When we have a good karma, we can have some fortune in life in the form of health, in the form of different kind of opulences, good karma of our intelligence, knowledge, different abilities, and so on and so on. But Baba is not talking here about good karma here. He is talking about indescribable stroke, attack, suddenly appearance of good fortune. So we call it sukritis, devotional sukritis, which are collected in the living entity from who knows when. And when these sukritis becomes sufficiently condensed, then suddenly they start to give the fruits. We can compare it with collection. For example, people are collecting the money, and putting on the bank account. And when they collect sufficient amount of money, they can buy the fruits of their collection, cars, houses, and other things which they want or which they need. In a similar way, Jiva, the living entity, is also collecting the good fortune or sukritis through devotional life and through devotional practice. By listening, by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, different kinds of devotional activities, Jiva is collecting the sukritis. And when these sukritis are closely connected with sadhus, then this kind of good fortune, this good sukritis, spiritual sukritis, are starting to increase and increase and increase more and more and even faster and faster. So we have here spiritual good fortune, and I gave example of material good fortune, just to make comparison to understand in a much more easier way that Jiva also needs this spiritual good fortune, and it needs in sufficient quantity. The best way how we can collect is close association with Rasic devotees. Once disciples of Prabhupada, when they were listening about this kind of good fortune which is required for spiritual life, asked Prabhupada, but we don't have any sukritis. We are Westerns, and we don't remember that we did anything to have such kind of Sukritis in our life. And Prabhupada said, yes, you are right, but I'm giving you my Sukritis. So this is the mercy of pure Premika devotee. And he is appearing in this world to help conditioned souls, to give them kripa, first in the form of Sukritis. And you can notice how Baba is very slowly is building necessary ingredients for spiritual success. First, he said, good fortune, indescribable good fortune, spiritual fortune, which suddenly, no one knows when, and no one knows to whom, suddenly appears and start to guide, to push, maybe it's better to say, to push person in the spiritual life to the end of this, to the end of attaining ultimate goal. So in Shastras are said, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. And this sadhu sangha is actually the main source of all Sukritis. By the association of sadhus, living entity becomes convinced that he is not a body, material, but a spiritual living entity. That material world is not his natural place, but actually it is a spiritual world. Then, this is the basic understanding of this indescribable good fortune. But Baba is here, is more specific. And he said, yes, we need Sukritis, because Sukritis bring us eagerness. The next part of the sentence is, by some indescribable stroke of a good fortune, living entity becomes eager to attain the mood of Radhika's maidservants. So this eagerness, this desire which is undescribably appears in the heart of sadhaka to become Radharani's maidservant is completely amazing, indescribable. And this kind of Sukritis are very rare. It's not that all living entities will get this mercy and chance to receive this kind of Sukritis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opened the door to everyone, that he can receive this kind of Sukritis to become Radharani's maidservant. But this is also gradual process. Someone will go faster, someone will go slower, and everything depends on this Sukritis. Of course, Rasik devotee can make it with his pure loving potency. He can make it much more faster. And this is the kripa of Guru. This is the kripa of Vaishnavas. This is the kripa of all Rasik devotees. And Baba is saying here, by the good fortune, eagerness to become Radharani's maidservant arises. Not with every Sukritis, this eagerness is arising. This is a very special Sukritis. Some devotees can receive the Sukritis and they have attachment spontaneous for Narayan, for Lakshmi, for Sitaram, for different kinds and incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because they have Sukritis according to their close, intimate relationship with someone who is devotee of Lakshmi, Narayan, Sitaram, and so on and so on and so on. But to attain association of Radharani's maidservant is indescribable good fortune. And we can see that this good fortune is appearing in the lives of devotees in different amazing ways. Some devotees, they simply don't know anything about, and suddenly they drop in Munger Mandir. I spent 30 years to come in Munger Mandir, but some good persons, fortunate persons, they immediately start their spiritual life from a Munger Mandir and met Gurudev, Radharani's maidservant. So this is indescribable stroke, appearance of good fortune. And in that moment, eagerness to become Radharani's servants because of close association with Gurudev appears in their hearts, completely spontaneous. This is a good fortune. And this kind of sukritis and good fortune is not depending. Is it person good or a bad person? Is it a criminal? Is the person is a liar or he had the bad qualities? No. These kind of sukritis are completely independent and they appear in the heart suddenly. Stroke. Baba said this is stroke appearance. And suddenly this kind of eagerness, I want to become Radharani's maidservant, suddenly appears even in the heart of most fallen people. This kind of desire doesn't depend on any qualification or disqualification. I would like to stop here because we can continue sentences and Baba is giving just two lights to us. By appearance, indescribable good fortune, eagerness to attain Radharani's lotus feet in the form of manjaris appears. Is there someone who wants to share about just these 2 points more and more? I tried to give my best, some kind of sharing. Gurudev, do you want? Or you are busy?
No, you do.
Jayanandaji, you want to say something? Gurudev cannot. To help me and to help us.
No, actually, you explained very nicely, and I completely agree. And I remember one verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think Madhya. Many people may know. Brahmanda, Brahmite, Konna Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna, Prasada Pae, Bhakti Rata Bij. So we are wandering so many universe, so many species of life. And then somehow or other, Krishna give us good fortune. Then we could meet Sadhu, Guru. And then by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we can attain Bhakti Rata Bij. I think this Bhakti Rata Bij is two kinds. One is Vaidhi Bhakti Rata Bij and Raganuga Bhakti Rata Bij. And somehow is more fortunate we can get this Raganuga Bhakti Rata Bij. Especially in this age, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Especially he gave us highest Bhakti Rata Bij. This is, I think, this Babo Urasa Rati. Someone who want to, the maid servant of Radhika, and Mahaprabhu and his associates, and his dear maid servant like Gurudev, give us this feeling, Bhakti Rata Bij. And then, due to accumulate the mercy of Sadhguru Vaishnava or some service, then this security, Bhakti security, is accumulated. Then, slowly, we can get more higher stage, like Asakti and Baba and Prema, and finally, like Mahababa. or Madana Mahababa as Manjari, as Kinkari. So this is, I just remember in this verse, and Gauranga Sundara explains so nicely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. So, Mayaga Shakti, can you repeat first part and then this little third part? You know how to do it. Okay, you understand.
I
No
try
problem.
my best.
Yes.
When a living entity, by some indescribable stroke of good fortune, becomes eager to attain the mood of Radhika's maidservants, and when the divine couple sends a message to the doorstep of the heart of such a raga sadhaka, practitioner of spontaneous devotion, then the devotee's hope blossoms and he runs quickly towards Shri Shri Radha Madhava.
So we can see here in this second part, Baba is saying, when good fortune arises, eagerness to become Radharani's maidservant appears, and then answer is coming from Radha Mohan. Devotee cannot do it alone. Gurudev many times is saying Anurag from other side, because this is the personal process. From other side, answer has to come. Invitation also. Yes, please come to us. And Baba is very nicely and little poetically is saying, and when divine couple sends a message to the doorstep of the heart of Raga Sadhaka, he didn't say, be careful, he didn't say message in the heart. He said in the doorstep, in front of the heart. So, what is this message? I was trying to feel and to think about this. And this message is when Radhika is sending her maidservant to help us. And that maidservant, our Guru or Guru Manjari, is giving the Shishya disciple Siddha Pranali. This is the clear invitation in front of the doorstep of the heart of Sadhaka, who is not Vaidhi Bhakti, like Jayanandaji mentioned, 2 types, but who is Raga Bhakti. This is the message. This Siddha Pranali is actually the message and answer on the eagerness of loving devotee. Answer of Radhika in the form of her messenger, personal messenger, Guru Manjari, who is then giving the Siddha Pranali and also guiding disciple on the next levels, different levels to attain their desirable goal. Like Maharaj said, from up to Mahabhav. So we need this message. We need answer from other side, because this is the answer of our little, maybe sometimes so little that it is unconsciously desire to attain Radharani's lotus feet. But Radhika mercifully, immediately reacts and is giving the message in front of the door. You want to take it, keep it, hold it, or you will leave it still in front of the door. And Gurudev says, I remember in the previous years he was talking about this Siddha Pranali, which Gurudev is, by inspiration of Radhika, is giving to disciple. Then sometimes we put this paper, Pranali paper, in the almirah, like he said, in the cupboard, and we forgot to practice it. So it means that message came in front of our heart, but somehow we closed the door. But the more devotee is serious and eager for close association with sadhus and Vaishnavas who can help him to attain his goal, these doors are staying open and Kripa is entering inside. So I notice, and I'm sharing like this because I feel like this, when Baba is saying, then divine couple sends message to the doorstep of the heart of such raga sadhaka. And then next part of the sentence, what's going on then? Devotee's hope blossoms. Hope is the sign of eagerness. If we don't have a hope that we will attain the goal, eagerness cannot be so strong. And if we don't have an eagerness, the hope cannot appear and be strong. And for that, this message, which Radhika and Mohan and Guru are sending in front of our heart, in front of the heart of Raga, Manjari Bhav Sadhaka, is essential. This kind of message is essential because this is instruction. This is the way how Sadhaka can attain with full hope his goal. And Baba is saying that this hope is blossoming. So like Jayanandaji said, on the level of Ruchi, on the level of Ashakti attachments, on the level of Bhava, on the level of Prema, this hope and also eagerness and also humility and also all necessary qualities are simply blossoming and blossoming more and more. And the more they are blossoming, Radhika becomes more attracted and willing to answer more deeply and tenderly to such kind of devotee. And when the heart is more blossoming, it's becoming softer and softer, and then starts to melt. It's not enough to be soft. This is one stage, but we need a melting heart. And this is the pure love, which only possess this kind of power, prem, which is coming by the mercy through the heart of Premika devotee. This prema can melt our heart. And then what this kind of devotee whose hope blossoms are doing, he runs quickly towards Shishi Radha Mohana. So this is this long sentence describing the Jiva Abhisar. From indescribable good fortune which suddenly appears, brings eagerness to attain Radharani's maidservant like a second step. Then answer of divine couple in the form of message to the doorstep of the heart of such a devotee. Then a hope which naturally blossoming and brings devotee to the stage of running. He doesn't want to waste any more time. He doesn't want to waste his life. He wants to run on this abhisar, loving journey towards Swamini. I'm sorry, this is how I understand. And now it makes perfect sense, at least to me, why Baba is saying devotees should meditate on Radharani's abhisar. How she is eagerly, with full hope, is running to meet Krishna, to meet her beloved in the Kunja. And this is why she is called Kunja Abhisarika. Gurudev, is there something which is coming you want to share with us? We don't hear you, Gurudev. The mic.
Explain me one time more what you are repeating. Repeat again.
Okay, Gurudev. I will read, or my Yoga Shakti, what do we want? When a living entity, by some indescribable stroke of good fortune, becomes eager to attain the mood of Radhika's maidservants, and when divine couple sends a message to the doorstep of the heart of such a raga sadhaka, then devotee's hope blossoms and he runs quickly towards Shri Radha Mohan. This is Jiva Abhisar.
Right.
Lovely journey of the living entity.
It was in Russian class I explained this.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were reading same verse or
This is
similar
more.
commentary?
No, I say because
Please, Guru.
the material world body is conditioned, and this conditioned stage we need only sense gratification because we know material body only. And this material body, we cannot do more than this or live in the false ego in this. But when we become Jiva, we identify my soul of Jiva. So that Jiva Visar mercy come to us. When we move for the Ishtadev and we start related with my Ishtadev in the form of Murti, in the form of Murti, and we develop relation and love with Ishtadev, then the mercy catches us from the material identification for her. This I explain. Without connection with the Ishtadev, without the loving exchange with the Ishtadev, it's not possible. Because I have so much love with my sense gratification. I have so much with the love with my body, my false ego. How I will live it? It should be higher love to live this thing. That is Jiva Visa. Then Jiva start moving in that direction, right? But you may more explain very details and clear. That is beautiful. I say short way, but without this desire, we cannot live by material identification and enjoyment of material body.
Yes.
We cannot. We don't know more than this.
Yes, thank you, Gurudev. It must be very clear. My Yoga Shakti, now you continue, and Baba is speaking similar points, same points. What's going on after this Jiva Abhisar? Jiva Abhisar is the goal. And what's going when this Jiva Abhisar starts, really starts?
That living entity leaves his mundane existence far behind him, and considers even liberation to be as insignificant as an empty oyster shell. He leaves the reverential worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead far behind him, and he considers all the different obstacles that appear on his way to be simply stepping stones that help him to ascend to the platform of the beloved's lotus feet and only increase his passionate love.
We can stop here because Gurudev just in a very short way explained what is Baba is writing here. Then in the moment when our spiritual journey, love journey towards Ishtadev starts, side effects appears. That person is not anymore interested in material life. Person is not even interested for attaining liberation. Baba is mentioning second symptom is he's not interested even for awe and reverence in connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the side symptoms. They are not a goal. Because sometimes we think that we want to practice devotional life to be free from material life. This is important, but this is not the goal. Goal is to fulfill our heart with spiritual eagerness, spiritual desires, and slowly and automatically detachment from material life will appear in the heart of such Raganuga Bhakti. So first is attachment. Gurudev said this is not possible to be free from your sensual desires if you don't have an Ishtadev. And it means we need first attachment for Radhika and Mohan, and then the detachment will spontaneously arise in the heart of such kind of sadhaka. Many of us, we wanted to attain Krishna by practicing first detachment, but nothing happened. But when by the good fortune which is arising in some living entities, we start to desire to develop attachment, relationship. This means attachment. Attachment for someone is actually strong relationship. And this kind of strong attachment and strong relationship will minimize all other attachments. And person spontaneously will come on the stage of detachment. So attachment brings to detachment, not opposite. But for what? For whom? Attachment, not for family, not for money, not for house. Attachment for Ishtadev brings real detachment, even from liberation, for worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead with awe and reverence, because love, pure love, is becoming more stronger and stronger because of this attachment. Then Maya Yoga Shakti, what's going on next? Some stones. Yeah. And this kind of person who understands this, he sees that all obstacles which appears in his life are helping him to attain the goal, because he has strong attachment for beloved Ishtadev. And his Jiva Abhisar, no one can stop. Stones, rocks.
Body avisar, jiva avisar. Jiva cannot do sex.
No.
Material body need for sex and material enjoyment. Jiva cannot do avisar. And one avisar, they cannot do sense avisar. Jiva can do spiritual avisar. He has no physical body. And when he moves for the spiritual avisar, then by mercy of Guru and Swamini, we got the Manjari Sarup.
And this message, this Manjari Sarup is actually message from Radhika to the doorstep of Sadhaka's heart. Baba is saying, message to the doorstep. In front of, you have to open the heart, the door of your heart, and receive. But what you are doing when you are receiving.
And I received this in 74, 75, my Sarupavesh. Then question arising, I have 5 small kids, and I have a wife, young wife, and I was young. How I manage? I went to forest or what? No. I give my practical example to you. I never leave this, and by the mercy of Swami, everything happened. Children settle down, they study, grown up, they settle down well, happy. I do not do efforts anything. I have no energy to efforts. When I try to efforts, it's all fail. I become useless. Also family, also my wife was there. He is not disturbing me. And not I disturb, not she disturbed with me. And this mercy happened that I took sannyas. Then I know renounce everything. I don't go to the other ashram. I was living here because I have love with my Radha Mohan. I cannot leave him in any circumstances. Why? How I can leave? I live for everything for him, and I live again for red color clothes. I live to him for showing. I don't do that. Living here, staying in all circumstances, but by grace of my Gurudev, I start living in my Sarupa ways.
So family life, jobs, or other obligations are not obstacle for Jiva Avisara,
Yeah,
for living in Swarup.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Radha.
Maybe I repeat the last sentence?
Yes, please.
He leaves the reverential worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead far behind him, and he considers all the different obstacles that appear on his way to be simply stepping stones that help him to ascend to the platform of the Beloved's lotus feet and only increase his passionate love. Just as one easily arrives at the desired destination in the deep darkness of the new moon night with the aid of a brilliant torch, so is this example of the sadhaka's abhisar toward Sri Radha Mohan's lotus feet, a burning torch that leads the aspirant through the dense darkness of his material desires towards the lotus feet of his beloved Lord. I repeat.
This last long sentence, please.
Yeah. Just as one easily arrives at the desired destination in the deep darkness of the new moon night with the aid of a brilliant torch, so is this example of the sadhaka's abhisar towards Sri Radha Mohan's lotus feet, a burning torch that leads the aspirant through the dense darkness of his material desires towards the lotus feet of his beloved Lord.
So we need a torchlight that we can move through this darkness of material existence. And the torchlight is coming from the heart of Vaishnavas, Rasic devotees. And the torchlight is coming from Radha and Krishna. They are only torchlight. Their guidance is the torchlight for the sadhaka on his journey. And only their torchlight can remove the darkness of all our materialistic existence, desires, conditions. And for that, no one can pass through this darkness alone. He has to follow someone who already has illuminated heart. How can I go alone through this darkness? Even if I heard about Radhika, I need Kripa. I need mercy. On my beloved Gurudev, I need mercy of all Vaishnavas, Radha Mohan, Nitai Gaur, all mercy. This is the torchlight. But I have to be ready to follow.
Without mercy of Gurudev, without mercy of Vaishnavas, is not possible. And that is should be Rasik Vaishnava. Then it can possible that I can go right way. As per the desire of Gurudev, my soul can move in right direction. If not, impossible without the mercy of Rasik Vaishnava and Gurudev to achieve this. Who will create the greed of Ishtadev? We will think it's a murti, it's a statue. Only Gurudev mercy, Vaishnava mercy, or your Sukriti in previous life can increase this rasa for Ishtadev. That is the start hope in our life, that the jiva can avishal. Jiva can move in right direction. He forget in the clutch of Mahamaya of Krishna. He forget in the clutch of false ego that he come for some other thing. And what he has nothing to do, he is busy in that doing. Because he has no sarup, he has no mercy of Gurudev, and he has no desire for that mercy.
And this is a misfortune for living entity, for the soul.
In my life, it was practical example that how I got it when I have so much material burden. I have so many properties, so many things to work, and I was the only person who has to work. Then children can grow. And that time when I have Sarup, my way will change. And I have not any problem. I live a very comfortable life here, 80 years, no much sickness, and still by the Anukula Hoibe Vidhi, favorable circumstances are here. And if I cannot get this in this favorable circumstances, more mercy than I am unfortunate. Why I say I was living Utkalka Ballari, and in that one time you give your life to Mahajan, one time, and that is Avishar, Jiva Avishar. One time you give your life to Mahajan, your Guru, one time. But we have no Guru Nishtha. We have very doubtful faith in Guru. Why I will give that? But I have a full faith in my Guru. I got this mercy when he is initiating. That moment I received the mercy. My life changed. Srinath, you said to share, I share you. Jiva Avishar. Very important. Very important. Very, very, very important. We have to decide one time to give life. If not, then again I will go in the circle of death and birth and death.
Other journey.
Others. And if I go now in birth and death, I will go more higher than this. Because my desire is this. With the previous Sukriti, I will take birth. Others can also do that. Yeah.
Srimati goes on Abhisar, and Shripad, in his Kinkari form, follows her like her shadow. Waves of constant passion gush from her every limb. Nobody but a Vraja Premika, a lover of Vraj, can understand this transcendental extramarital love.
Only someone who has this kind of Sukritis, this special kind of Sukritis and special mercy can understand, who has not ordinary good fortune, Sukritis for Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, Sukritis for Vraja Prem, for the Madhura Rasa in the form of Parakyabha. Only those persons can understand this loving abhisar of Radhika towards Krishna and loving abhisar of Sadhaka who wants to attain this goal.
The Goswamis have done so much effort to conceal these secret pastimes from unqualified persons. For this reason, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote the play Lalita Madhava, in which he described how the gopis were married to Krishna in Dwaraka. And Sri Jiva Goswami described the pastime of Radha and Madhava's marriage in his book Gopala Champu, so that unqualified persons would not commit offenses at Radha and Mohan's lotus feet.
To write down every 3 hours. All.
So that unqualified persons would not commit offenses at Radha and Mohan's lotus feet, not being able to understand the transcendental nature of their extra marital sports. Jara lagi kohite, boy se yadi na jane. Iha boy kiba, shuka ache tribhuvane. From Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila. What greater happiness can there be in all the 3 worlds than that those people before whom I am afraid to speak will not know this?
Daddy, Jayananda Maharaj, can you be so kind and merciful to share a little bit about this paragraph, about reasons of Goswamis and Acharyas why they are concealing this parakya bhav mood?
So I don't know so much, but I may share. In that time, when Goswami's time, at that time, still many people could not understand parakya rasa, extramarital relationship with gopis, because maybe they are too much pious, or maybe too much attached Varna Ashram Dharma. So people could not understand the value of extramarital relationship, like gopi, means parakya rasa. Because many people, maybe including maybe me or us, we are too much material conception we may have. This is good, this is bad. Extramarital relationship, parakya bhava in this material world is very bad. So if too much sattva or too much attached this rule and regulation, they don't understand. So therefore, and also it is said, I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, why Jiva Goswami wrote Gopala Champu, means Radha Krishna like married something, this Leela. Because their Jiva Goswami's students, disciples, they want to hear more Swakiya Rasa. But in spiritual platform, especially in Braja, no Swakiya Rasa, especially Radha and Mohan's relationship. Because if Swakiya is there, then we don't need Manjari. No room for Manjari. So, but this is not easy to understand. Therefore, Jiva Goswami has to write, had to write this kind of a leader. But actually, this parakya relationship in Braja is parakya relationship. And then Radha Mohan need Manjari's help. Otherwise, this Babo Rasa Rasa. Why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear? Why Krishna want to taste Radhika's love, Radhika's glory, or only Radhika could taste Mohan's beauty and attribute. This is like meaningless. So even now, many people likes Radha Krishna's Swakya relationship. But the reality is, we need mercy from Rashka Vaishnava, like Anandas Babaji Maharaj or our Gurudev Sadhu Maharaj. Then we could understand clearly what is more taste is coming. Real Braja Baba, real Gopi Baba, real Babo Urasa Rasa, real Manjari Baba. So this is, I just come to in my mind. So please excuse me. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you very much for your nice sharing. Very simple and it's very clear. When you mentioned Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, I just remember somewhere he wrote actually that most difficult but most important task of every acharya is to open the rasa and at the same time to hide the rasa. And we should think a little bit about this. And we can see here why they are opening, but in the same time, they are hiding. And Maharaj explained actually, and Baba is also here explaining, because of unqualified people who will wrongly understand, and no one wants to speak about amorous, intimate, loving pastimes between Radha and Krishna in front of someone who doesn't accept Parakya Bhav, who doesn't understand Parakya Bhav. And we have special mercy that Gurudev took this task to elaborately speaks about that. It's not easy to find, even in Vraja, such kind of sadhus who will voluntarily and mercifully speaks about Parakya Bhava in front of unqualified persons. But this is the special mercy of Nitai Gaur. And we should take this present, because this is a valuable present, like a jewel, and really appreciate what we received and what we have opportunity to listen and to relish if we can.
The Kriya Bhav, everybody is practicing. Like a one Jiva, Yavishar is a Parkya Bhav. I agree with my family is my family. I agree with my wife is my wife. This is Sakya. Material circumstances was Sakya. And I running, that time was in Sakya, my family. I see reality. But when I meet with Radha Mohan, I don't know what will happen. When I happen to this, that is Jiva Visar. That is Gopi Bhav. That is Gopi Bhav. Gopi leave his family and he went Jiva Visar. And Krishna said, no, you come in night time. You have to go back to your family. This is not a right time for you to come. Then Gopi said one story, knocking door. You knock my door. Your husband is knocking door and you are taking care of the picture. Krishna said, what you are doing? Your husband is outside and you are doing worshipping into the pictures. He says, my service, I have to do it because I learned this. Vaidhi Bhakti to do service, 15 minutes to wait to complete it. Sir, crazy. Your husband is knocking the door and you say that you're completing your services. Open the door. He said, yes, I opened the door. You said, then I opened the door. Then they catch the hand of Krishna. You knocking my door, I catch you. You are real husband. You give me one picture to serve. Reality, you are the reality. When you knock the door, I catch you. Krishna has no answer to gopis. For material world, look Parkya. For the gopi is Sakya, because he knows the fact. That is the reality. That is Jiva Vishal. For others looking that I am in the Parkya Bhav. For the person, for Jiva, that is the reality where he is moving for. But material world say, now he is practicing Parkya Bhav. Right?
Yes, Gurudev. You are talking from the level of absolute truth. And on that level, everything is clear. Yes, Gurudev. This is Parakya Bhava, and at the same time, it's not.
What? That is a Parkya Bhav.
Yeah, but we should to understand why yes, why not.
Parkya Bhav for us because we have to hidingly do.
Yeah.
This is the work to hide. So Mahajan says a Parkya, hiding way to do. Right?
Yeah. We don't have a proper consciousness to really understand.
Radhika has the difficulties to meet Krishna. He is living with Jatila and Kutila. Why? Love can see only in difficulties. Love moves. Others can feel, and I can feel also in difficulties. It's an inner feeling. Nobody can stop the love. He has no other desire and vision for Radhika. Out of Krishna, he don't see anything. Where he see only, he see Krishna.
This is the glories of Parakya Bhava.
This is other think what I don't know, but I think what I know.
Yeah.
Condition will see different way. Unconditional will see the different way.
And this is the reason why Goswami is hiding in their scriptures. They were not speaking openly or writing openly because of that.
We don't see this. We have to practice with our Jiva Visal. Then we see that this realization cannot come without that. Right? Okay. Share more. It's a very deep subject.
Yeah.
There is no end to the sweetness of Sri Radhika's Abhisara. This verse consists of only addresses. With each address, the Kinkari touches Swamini with Shyam Rasa, Krishna mellows.
Yeah.
And so, the Kinkari serves her in both ways, Paricharya, practical service, and Prasanga, hearing and chanting, while following her on the way.
Hearing open air.
Yes, it's open, Gurudev.
Hearing is only for her, not anything hearing. And chanting means anything, thinking also. Only for you. That is chanting. Chanting means touch my mind. If I'm chanting and my mind is running, something else is not chanting. Every words can touch my mind is chanting. Every word is coming, going to me is my Krishna name, Radhika. No other want to listen. They practice to Manjari is also to hear about Radhika and chanting about in the front of Radhika Krishna name.
So the essential point is from which mood, which relationship we are chanting.
Yeah.
And the chanting is always directed for the pleasure, for the benefit of Ishtadev.
And
In
we
this
have to
case,
check in Sadhak Deha or Siddha Deha.
Yeah.
In a Visar mood, Jiva Visar mood, I'm chanting in my Sadhak Deha.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a high level talk. You explain like all devotees can do. Sorry,
No, Gurudev, we are very thirsty to listen you.
Yeah.
Why should anyone listen to me?
Hearing, I know hear other things now. I should be there. Only I want to hear about you, my Swami. And Swami say, I only want to hear about Krishna.
The problem is with conditioned soul, that conditioned soul is always, whatever is doing for his own pleasure, happiness, and benefit. And it's very difficult to make a change.
Limited.
To make a change that now I am not chanting for my salvation, my liberation. Jai Shri Radha.
Yeah. Sorry.
Radha, Shri Radha.
Why you keep here? Keep outside. Not here. You have to do it.
So this is the conditioned soul when it starts to practice spiritual life and chanting. First, conditioned soul is chanting for himself, for his own benefit. And maybe it's the beginning, not maybe, it's in the beginning, it's okay, because we have to start from somewhere. But through the association of pure devotees, we should learn how to chant purely. And Gurudev is explaining here, what does it mean chanting? Chanting, whispering on Radharani's ear, remembering Radharani on Krishna's name, pastimes, whatever. This is the seva.
Why Mahamantra is here?
Yeah.
Because you go in the Leela of Radha Krishna. It's not a Krishna Balram name. It's a pastime of Radha and Krishna.
So in the books, in Vilapa Kusumanjali, Radha, Rasa, Sudhanidhi, we can see how manjaris, Nitya Siddha manjaris are serving in a practical way Radhika, but also always remembering her about these different pastimes. When Tulsi, yeah?
Jiva has to do avisar one day. He has to leave this body. Acharya teach, why not you do this avisar now, living in this body? When you will die, you have to do jiva avisar. But you don't know your place to go. If you do in the living time, you know your place to go. Right?
Dying before dying.
Before dying. You are dying. Siddhartha said, dying to live. You have to die with the material circumstances to live in the spiritual circumstance. Right?
Absolutely, Gurudev, that's right. This
But
is the reason why we are trying to practice.
Huh?
This is the reason why we are practicing all this spiritual path. Otherwise, but I'm so foolish, Gurudev, that I'm still very stuck in this material world, in this material body, and my jiva abhisar is not so strong.
If you are foolish, everyone has to be foolish like you.
Don't take it seriously.
When you are doing for your heart, for your daughter, nothing happens. When you start doing this, she is the best place and best life. This is
your mercy.
The moment you do this, she is happy.
This is your mercy. I am in my natural fallen foolish position.
It become good. You can believe it. When you don't do the Radharani service, you fix with yourself and everything become good.
That is true. Only service is a kripa. And kripa is making everything impossible to become possible.
That's the point.
Even in my foolish life. So, what should we stop here? Because
it's a very deep subject you shared.
No, you shared in such a nice way, Gurudev.
No, you share. You inspired me. So I see Rishi is also sitting. What is his name?
Radha.
Rishi. What is the Rishi?
I don't know.
Sonaka?
Sundaram.
Huh?
Sundaram. Suntal.
No, this side.
Gautam.
Gautama Muni.
Ah.
Muni.
Muni and Rishi.
Radhe Radhe Gurudev.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. What's this?
Samuel.
Always stay in picture. Then I will see his energy to receive.
Mm.
Yeah. If you close your skin, you cannot see. When mind is diverted from Gauranga Sundar, and I have to, some person come and I have to go to discuss with him. I don't know how to relate with him. So
you mean to keep on the picture
and see the face who is talking. Receive that and
I was just going around sometimes, so I don't want it to disturb when I was moving, so I put it off. But I will put it on for now in the next time.
On and not leave around. Where it is, what it is not a philosophy, my dear.
Yeah.
The moment you will not catch it, you will not understand. I not understand sometimes Gauranga Sundar. When I close all activities and meditate on his words, then something I understand. This is the position. You have to connect. It's a telepathic connection, divine connection.
I understand. Thank you. Radha.
Radha. Jai Jai.
Thank you,
Jai Jai.
Yoga Shakti. Thank you very much.
Radhe Radhe Govinda.